Welcome to the Pope on Film. I am Bunny Williams, and with me is...
I am the Pope in question. My name is Malin. I am the founder of the Church of Ed Wood, which is an actual thing worth a Google. Nice monologue graphic. Very pretty.
Just kind of playing around.
It looks like downtown Tucson, Arizona. Tucson, Arizona. This is episode 443 of the podcast. Yes, Little Lebowski, Urban Achievers, and proud we are of all of that. It's going to be an exciting day. I've got a real fun game for the monologue, which I think is going to be a blast. We're going to be talking about the birth of pop psychology in Steve's Historic Approximations. And our movie this week is Elf on the Shelf. And I would just like to apologize for this week's Film Bunny. I thought that it would be like a so bad it's good, but no, it's just it's nigh unwatchable.
I don't know if I can completely agree.
I hate this movie so much. It's basically just three guys doing a movie over a weekend, and I absolutely despise it. I haven't felt this bad about making you watch a movie since Sandy Wexler.
Sandy Wexler, you son of a bitch.
And then and I know that when your movie is about an elf on the shelf that comes to life and kills people, that talking about the facts of it, it's the wrong elf. As you see there,
yes,
they use an authentic elf on the shelf for the poster, but then they use this like ugly ass looking Goodwill reject doll for the actual movie. I 100% hate this movie. Super bad. Apparently, you have different feelings about it.
Slightly different feelings about it.
Okay.
But I don't want. I'm definitely not going off on a rave for this fucking movie.
Yeah.
But I would watch it again.
Okay.
Let's just put it there.
Yeah. And I'm pretty high. You know, I've been really getting into philosophy lately. I'm trying to better myself because I've been through a lot this year, and I'm just trying to be a better person. And so I've been reading a lot of philosophy, and there was a quote that I wanted to start the podcast with. So I'm trying to get more serious. It's from a famous Western philosopher. You probably haven't heard of him. His name is Kid Rock. And he said in one of his beautiful poems, "Ba with the ba, the bang-a-dang." Now, this is the important part. Diggy, 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 said the boogie, said up, jump, the boogie. And that's really what it's all about. You know, when you get right down to it, that summarizes everything. So I hope that, you keep that in your heart, and it will help you out.
Yes. Those are words that can guide you through life.
Yeah. Buddy!
Okay, wait. We really need to catch up on some Marvel. You've got to have finished She-Hulk by now.
Oh, yes, I watched She-Hulk.
Okay. And so
I loved it.
She-Hulk?
Yes.
Okay, good. But we got to back up because you got to do Moon Knight and Miss Marvel too.
I saw Moon Knight and I saw She-Hulk. I tried watching Miss Marvel, and I had a hard time getting through it. If I was younger, I probably would have loved it, but now I'm just thinking, who's this brat who's not listening to her parents? Which shows you, the difference that age can do to you. I really liked Moon Knight. I thought he needed to be more of a smartass,
Yeah.
but it did a really good job of explaining the mythology and all of that. And She-Hulk just nailed the tone just right. And I really dug that. And Wong has been in more movies than any other Marvel character. I believe it's Wong who's been in more Marvel movies than any other Marvel character.
In more movies? I mean, he's made more
In
appearances. I could
more
see that.
appearances. Yeah. But he's basically just the glue that holds this entire universe together at this point.
Yes, he is.
And I'm down with that.
Yes, he is. Couldn't get
But
into
yeah,
Miss Marvel, huh?
no, I'm good. I decided to watch She-Hulk because I absolutely have just been gun ho about watching that, and I loved it, and it was super fun. It was dumb fun, and I loved it. And I figure, whenever I'm ready, I'll just go back and watch Miss Marvel. I've
I
already I've already seen like the last 10 minutes of it. I've already had the ending spoiled, so I'm gonna take my time getting through that.
yeah. Moon Knight is kind of why I want Marvel to stay to limited series
Yeah.
and not really like a lot of the things they're putting out there doesn't really feel like it lends itself very well to a series.
Yeah.
And I think where I thought Moon Knight was pretty great. Okay, where I think where it winds up falling down a bit is everywhere where they were trying to set up for season 2.
Yeah.
So we play around with Jake Lockley without actually doing that story, and
Yeah.
it just takes away time from the story they're trying to tell here.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Where they could do that at some other point.
Yeah.
She-Hulk, I think, lends itself a lot better to having a season 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's already kind of fulfilling a lot of the things that I think we need in Marvel shows, getting different, diverse characters.
Mm-hmm.
The world is so intricate, that we really need to mix them up. So,
Yeah.
like, instead of a Moon Knight 2, well, or a Loki 2, well, let's put them in together. Let's take those two, put them in something together, and send them off on their own limited series.
Yeah. I'm really happy that they've added Waymond Wang from Everything Everywhere All at Once and also Goonies and Indiana Jones in the second season of Loki. I'm looking
Oh,
forward to
really?
that. Yeah. Yeah. Because he's really having a renaissance, that man.
Yes, he is.
So
And he
and
deserves
for
it.
him. Well deserved. Yes, well deserved. Very excited. I am
Because I
so
have been
hot.
holding on to my potatoes for decades now.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny.
Yes.
I want to start off this episode of the Pope on Film podcast with a game.
Okay.
I feel like it's been a while since we've played a game here on the Big Shoe, and this is a good one. In fact, despite the fact that we're currently doing this podcast every other week, which is really helping me with my mental health. Thank you, Bunny. I came up with this game the morning after we recorded our last podcast,
Okay.
which was when I got deep AF about everything everywhere all at once. So this is the game. But before we get to the game, I'd like to talk a little bit about a company, which is very important to this game. Build-A-Bear Workshop was founded in 1997 when Maxine Clark, then president of Payless Shoe Source, which I still can't believe went out of business, still blows me away. How am I supposed to annoy my kids for an entire Sunday afternoon now? Very upset about this. Build-A-Bear Workshop was founded in 1997 when Maxine Clark resigned as president of Payless Shoe Source to sell bears.
Okay.
Now in 2022, it is an international company that frequently has collabs with various pop culture icons. So, this is the game. I will name a movie or a TV show or a specific movie or TV character, and you have to tell me if Build-A-Bear has ever made a bear of it before.
Okay.
So I'm just going to be naming some names of pop culture, name some famous names, famous people, famous TV characters, famous movie characters, and you have to tell me if they have ever done a bear of it. Do you got it, Bunny? Are you ready?
I think I got it.
Okay. So let's start this off. I have 30.
30.
So yeah. So the history of Build-A-Bear is crazy. Okay. Pikachu.
This is it? This is the game?
Yes, this is the game. This is the game.
Okay.
Pikachu.
Because I was kind of thinking of a person. Okay,
No.
Pikachu? Yeah, they did a Pikachu bear. Of course they did a Pikachu bear.
Yes, you are correct. Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, most certainly.
Good job. You're doing good so far. Here's a tricky one. Charles Manson.
I'm going to go yeah, because I totally would.
No, they have not
They
done
have not
a
made a
Charles.
Charles Manson bear?
No. So you got 2 out of 3 so far.
Okay.
Okay. And now, after this, it starts getting complicated. Gumby. This is hard.
Yeah, I'm going to go no on that because I can't see how you would do Gumby as a... Gumby is Gumby.
Okay.
You know?
Good job. They have never done a Gumby bear. The Riddler.
I can see them doing a Riddler.
Good job. But yes, they have done a Riddler bear. So far, you're 4 for 5. You're doing good. You're doing good. NBC's Seinfeld. It's a tough one. You really got to think about it. I spent so many birthdays. I have 5 kids. So many birthdays I spent at Build-A-Bear warehouses. So this is easier for like my wife, my family. It's harder for you, I think. When was the last time you went to a Build-A-Bear workshop, Bunny Williams?
I don't think I have ever actually been in a Build-A-Bear workshop, nor have I ever been in a Chuck E. Cheese.
Really? Man, you have not lived until you've gotten drunk and passed out in a Chuck E. Cheese ball pit. It's a fact.
I'm going to go yes on Seinfeld.
No.
Oh.
You are incorrect. Wait, what was your answer?
I said
your
yes.
Answer was yes? Okay, yes, you are wrong. NBC's Friends.
Oh, well, I got to go no now because I've just been burnt.
Yes, they have done NBC's Friends
They
as
have.
Build-A-Bears. Yes. Friends is everywhere now.
So why wouldn't they do a Seinfeld?
I don't know.
I mean,
but they are currently, if I'm not mistaken, doing the Friends. You can get like a bear with a like a Thanksgiving turkey over its head.
Yeah.
You can get a turkey. You can get a bear that's carrying a couch and it says pivot. There's a couple of them.
A bear that has no black friends.
Yeah. You're not allowed to make a black bear when you're making a Friends bear. Number 8, Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yes, very good. They have done every Doctor as a bear.
Oh.
Every doctor, including number 4 with the scarf and the robot dog. Every doctor. Cookie Monster.
Yes.
Yes, they have done a Cookie Monster. Deadpool.
Yes.
Good job. They have done a Deadpool bear. Yes. John Cena.
Yes.
No, they have never done a
No.
John Cena bear before. We're on question 11. You've only gotten 3 wrong. I thought that you would have a harder time with this, so you're doing pretty good. Number
Well,
12,
I'm
Lego.
kind of going. I'm kind of going at like what is popular, and then what specifically is popular for children.
Yeah.
So, like, that's kind of why I said yes on Seinfeld, because it was wildly popular. But I thought they might make a bear out of it.
Yeah.
Doctor Who was a definite. John Cena is really popular with kids, so I thought
Yes.
John Cena, but
As far as I can tell,
fuck him.
I searched and searched and searched. They've never done any WWE related bears at the Build-A-Bear. They're missing out. They're missing out. I would love a Brock Lesnar bear that's like all roided out. I would be down with that. Number 12, Legolas. This really separates the men from the boys here.
Yes.
Yes, they have. Good job, Bunny. Boba Fett.
Yes.
Yes, they have. Godzilla. Have they ever made a Godzilla Build-A-Bear?
I'm gonna go no on that one.
Yes, they have.
They
They
have.
don't make it anymore, but they have. I want it. Teletubbies.
Tubbies?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Good job. They have never made Teletubbies. Although Teletubbies are back, it's streaming on something. Paramount Plus or Apple, I don't know. But Teletubbies are back. Squirrel Girl.
No.
Good job. They have never made a Squirrel Girl. Jack Skellington.
Yes.
Yes. Jack Sparrow.
Yes.
Yes. Jackie Chan.
I am hoping no.
Is that your final
I'm gonna
answer,
say
sir?
no.
Okay. I decided that for question 19, Jackie Chan, that whatever answer you give, I'm going to say yes. Because have they made an official Jackie Chan Build-A-Bear? No. But in 2010, Jackie Chan visited a Build-A-Bear and made 2 pandas and now takes them with him everywhere he goes. He made 2 pandas at Build-A-Bear. He named them,
Okay.
and now he travels anytime he's doing a movie or interviews. He travels with his 2 Build-A-Bears and gets pictures of famous people holding his 2 panda Build-A-Bears. He has pictures of his 2 Build-A-Bears being held by Jet Li, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Bill Clinton. Bill
Okay.
Clinton has held Jackie Chan's favorite Build-A-Bears. So
Although the bear has made some allegations about Bill Clinton, but it's being kept kind of quiet.
the weird part is both of the Build-A-Bears have broken every bone in their body, which is weird. They don't even have bones, but like they had to go to the doctor. Is real messed up. Uh, Number 20, Aquaman. Have they ever made an Aquaman Build-A-Bear? It's a tough one.
No.
You are correct. They never have made an Aquaman Build-A-Bear. Harley Quinn.
Yes.
Yes, they have. Good job. Neo. Neo.
Neo.
Neo.
Neo.
Ready?
Neo. No.
Are you
No.
ready to
No.
learn
No.
about
No.
the
No.
Matrix,
No.
Neo?
No. No.
I saw the new Matrix movie, The Matrix 4, Get Matrixier, the day it came out. I could not tell you a single thing that happened in that movie
I keep
at all.
forgetting about it. I
The
keep
only thing I
meaning
could
to
tell you
watch it.
is that Dr. Horrible was in it. And he was like a psychiatrist. That's all I remember. Uh,
I
hmm,
I have realized that there is a level when it comes to stars and things like that. Like there's the star or whatever, and then if you drop down a level, you get to the level of I thought you were dead
yeah,
for certain stars.
Bela Lugosi.
Like I just found out Eleanor Donahue still alive.
Hmm,
Thought she was
hmm,
dead. But I realized that there is a level just underneath that is a bit worse. And that's the I forgot you ever existed.
yeah, yeah,
Where somebody will pop up and it'll be like you recognize their face, but they were never anybody.
yeah.
And you probably haven't thought about them since the last time you've seen them. And it's like, wow, I completely forgot you existed.
Uh, uh, Dave Thomas was everywhere for a while. The comedian and not the guy who owned Wendy's. Dave
Honestly, it works
Thomas.
either way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But Dave Thomas was everywhere for a while. Martin Mull.
Yeah, but see, they're not even up to these level because you can name them,
Yeah,
but like the the guy in Rollerball who was James Caan's friend,
yes.
and then you see him pop up somewhere like, wow,
Oh, hey, it's that guy.
totally forgot you were anything.
Yeah. Okay, so question 22. Neo.
Neo, I think Neo, no on the Neo, no,
Yes, they have made a Neo Build-A-Bear before.
yeah.
Yes, they did a whole series of Matrix Build-A-Bears. You could get just imagine just a cheesy uh bear, but with black wraparound sunglasses and a trench coat. And then the best part is every Neo Build-A-Bear came with 40 guns
Okay.
that were all loaded with live ammunition. It was crazy. It was crazy. But yes, they made a Neo. Vincent Van Gogh.
No,
They have.
they have.
Yes, it's a collaboration with the Van Gogh Museum, that like traveling thing that comes to different towns and just yeah. Elvis Presley.
Yes.
Yes. Charlie Brown.
Yes.
Yes, they have. Good job. Michael Myers.
Trying to picture what the hell Charlie Brown would look like as a bear. Trying to
Yeah.
picture what the fuck a bald bear would look like.
Yeah. Number 26, Michael Myers.
All right, I need clarification here.
Michael Myers, not Mike Myers. Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. Okay.
Chi 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 ha 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 ha.
I'm going to say
No, no,
yes.
no. One note synthesizer music. Michael Myers. No, they have not. And I was
No.
surprised by this because just getting some bears and putting like a hockey mask on one, putting a William Shatner mask on another one, it seems like a home run, but no, they've never done any spooky ones like that. Cobra Kai.
I hope no, but I'm going to say yes.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. You can get a bear with your choice of like a Danny LaRusso or like a other guy, sweep the leg guy. I cannot believe that we live in a world. I again, the Mandela effect. I might be from another reality because I am blown away at the fact that Pee Wee Herman as a vampire became a long running beloved TV show.
Yes.
And also, uh, you mean to tell me it's 2022 and the Karate Kid is cool again?
And I
What?
don't I don't know why. I find it personally me, I find it really kind of pathetic.
It's freaking weird. It's freaking weird. This Halloween, I saw so many people dressed up in like Karate Kid outfits, and it's like this is a thing again. That's so weird. It's
I
like if all of a sudden Kim Kardashian was really into Pogs.
yeah. I mean, I watched
Weird.
the first 2 seasons cuz I just binge watched it I just binge watched it. Um and I was like, "Get over high school. Get
Yeah,
over it.
yeah,
Get over it already.
freaking weird.
You're
Okay,
fucking grown-ups."
yeah.
Daniel LaRusso is selling used cars.
I the only thing I'm happy about is that dude's getting work again. Good for you.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Ralph Macchio?
Yes, Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you, Ralph Macchio. Other than that, I absolutely don't care. Uh I rewatched The Karate Kid 3 in February of this year.
Yeah.
That movie was horrible. So,
They went
but
downhill real fucking quick.
yeah, they did.
I mean, the second one was barely passable.
Yeah. It- Also, to be fair, um, I hate the Karate Kid movies. You play any of the songs from that, and I will sing along like a drunk woman in a strip club on during a bachelor party.
Okay.
If suddenly,
So
like
many Republican senators.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
many Republican senators. Number 28. We're nearing the end of the quiz. The Bride of Frankenstein.
Yes.
Yes, they have.
I can
Now this
almost
one,
picture that one.
yeah. Now this one, I
10
think is
minute
one of the
warning.
hardest. Okay, this one I think is one of the hardest. Number 29. Really think about it. Think about the pros and the cons. Jesus.
Well, I'm
This
going to
is,
say no because they didn't make a Charles Manson one and they're virtually the same bear.
but it's Easter. You can get like a like
Yeah.
Easter bunny bear, a Jesus bear, a Roman centurion bear. You can get like a you can get a cross to crucify your bear, and then you leave it at the Build a Bear, and then 3 days later, your bear comes to life
Okay.
after having died in the Build a Bear. No, they haven't made a Jesus,
Okay.
but I ran this
There
quiz
is
by
potential. Once you said Easter, I was like,
yeah
ooh, I
yeah
might be so wrong here.
uh I ran this quiz by Emerald and Mal and my wife, and Jesus was the one that they got tripped up on the most.
Really?
Yeah. Number 30, here's the last one. This one's also hard. Gigi Allen.
G.G. Allen? Who the fuck is
Yeah.
G.G. Allen?
You don't know who G.G. Allen is?
No.
Oh my God, Bunny! Oh my God! Oh my God! You don't know who G.G. Allen is? Okay, quick Google search. G.G. Allen, 16 gruesome things you might not know. Article from Louder. Ultra controversial G.G. Allen. Here's some crazy facts about the scum lover himself. Of course, the first picture is him covered in blood. His real name was Jesus Christ Allen. His brother
Okay.
started calling him GG because he couldn't pronounce Jesus. Allen's controversial stage act included such low key practices as the consumption of fecal matter and self mutilation. His lyrics were renowned for being anything but politically correct. For proof, just read the words to his songs Ass Fucking, Die When You Die, Butt Sucking. Uh, Allen introduced his famed poop punk stage movement in 1985 at a show in Peoria, Illinois, where he literally and deliberately shat himself on stage. There was a near riot as people tried to get away from the stench. In 1989, Allen said he would commit suicide on stage on Halloween that year, but he was in jail, so he was unable to carry out his threat. Allen died from a heroin overdose on June 28th, 1993. After all his suicide threats, it was accidental. If you are so inclined, a G.G. Allen bobblehead toy is available to purchase online. So here's the question: have they made a G.G. Allen Build-A-Bear?
After hearing all of that, I've definitely got to go yes.
I mean, of course they have. It's the only Build-A-Bear
That
that
makes any
literally
sense.
you buy the Build-A-Bear, you put it by your bed, and you go to sleep. And when you wake up, it's really cute. The G.G. Allen bear has shit all over you.
Yes.
It's really amazing the level of authenticity. No, they haven't made a G.G. Allen.
Or it's hanging from a noose tied to the lamp.
Okay, so I think that was a lot of fun. So out of 30, let's see how many you got right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You got 21 out of 30 right. That is pretty good. Good job for you, Maxwell. Maxwell.
Yeah.
Bunny. I'm really high right now. I've been doing these pills lately. They're by a company called 1906, and they're Bliss pills.
Okay.
Bliss drops, 20 plant-based pills for happiness, 100 milligrams of THC and 100 milligrams of CBD, a stimulating blend of euphoria-inducing plant medication and cannabis to promote a bubbly sense of well-being and extroverted happiness. They're freaking awesome. They have a bunch of other pills. There's one for going to sleep. There's one for love that's supposed to make you aroused. I haven't tried that one. One to keep you up, like energy pills. There's a genius pill. There's a pill called Chill, which I'll never try again. It's basically a roofie for me. But this stuff is really cool. It just makes me kind of happy and kind of out of it. And I'm a little bit high, but I'm still able to, go about my day. It's pretty cool. I really dig it.
I'm gonna have to see if those are available.
Yeah, they're
It's
awesome.
100 milligram per pill. Not the
No,
bottle.
total. It's total.
Oh, really? That kind of sucks.
But one package is 20 pills. So yeah, usually I take one or two, and yeah, I'm good. It's awesome. I
Yeah.
also just
See,
got some.
I get 50 milligram gummies, so I take two of those. That's 100 milligrams.
Yeah. Just in one shot for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm developing more of a tolerance. So back in the day, taking one of those would have just wiped me out, but now I'm getting more of a tolerance.
So if that was
Any-
100 milligrams in a pill, that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
again, I
so,
still don't like the taste of marijuana,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
don't
So that's
chew them. I
so that's
swallow
why
the
the pills
gummies
might be
straight
good for you.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the pills might be good for you. So that is it for the monologue this week. That was a fun game. Really want to get my hands on the Godzilla Build-A-Bear. We are going to be taking a short break because we do this on Zoom and we have 2 minutes and 38 seconds. But we are going to take a short break. And when we come back, it's time for Steve's historic approximations. Really excited about this one. It's a fun one. We're going to be talking about TV shows, game shows, a famous TV doctor, and Martha Stewart shoving things up her asshole.
Okay.
So so that's going to be our shap. You're going to want to stay tuned for that. It's a lot of fun. I tried it out on a bunch of people in the house and they dug it. So we will be right back with more of the Pope on Film after this short wee little break. Gigi Allen originally wrote the theme to Sesame Street too, which is weird. Not a lot of people know that.
Okay.
But originally, it's can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? And then he rubs shit all over himself. That was the original theme song. And then like he starts hitting women in the audience. It's crazy. The original
with
Sesame
Cookie
Street song.
Monster.
With Cookie Monster, yeah. Do and break or cut.
I'm scared. Are you scared? I'm really, really scared. Scared.
This is my impression of Jigsaw if he was an 8-year-old child. Hello, Mom and Dad. I'd like to play a game. Do you have any games on your phone that I could play? Please?
I like the Ketos. I like Ketos. I like Ketos. I've covered. I don't remember.
Rebels! Rebels! You can't tell me what to do. You're not my dad.
You ready?
And we're back with more of the Pope on Film.
Hey!
Yes.
If you're like me, you're no doubt a big fan of this podcast, The Pope on Film. I mean, who isn't? It's really sweeping the nation. I mean, look how many people are watching this right now live on Twitch. 8.2 thousand. sure, the screen only says that like 2 or 3 are showing, but that's just liberal bias for you.
How many can this room hold? I mean, that's the question I
Oh.
have. I get worried and like, what happens when it hits maximum density?
One time last year, back when my wife would regularly stream on Twitch, she we got on and we were just drinking and spending time together. And we ended up getting like 1,000 people watching us just
Really?
randomly. Yeah. One of my daughters explained it to me that sometimes a popular room will be streaming and then the room will shut down. So then the whatever system will say, "Hey, now that you're done, here are some other rooms you can go into." And one of them just happened to be Natasha and I drunk uh streaming, and so that was weird. But yeah, you can get some people. Uh, okay. No doubt you're a big fan of this podcast, The Pope on Film. I mean, who isn't? But only the true fans, the real hardcore fans who have been with us since day one, would know the two basic facts about the both of us. Two undeniably really real and in no way made up on the spot facts about the both of us, Bunny and Steve. First and foremost, Bunny, is the fact that when you're not doing this podcast, you work with crocodiles, which always blew my mind. So tell
Yes.
me, Bunny, how do you get started in the field of crocodile hugging?
Crocodile hugging. It it is just from my deep deep love of crocodiles that makes me want, because they're the ones that have the pointier snout. That's the crocodile. Uh, they often don't like being hugged, so you have to kind of sneak up on them, jump on their back, and get in a really good hug before they try to take your face off. Because whereas I am a big fan of crocodile hugging, that does not go for the crocodile themselves. It's very sad that, you know, I wish they could open up more,
Very
and
much so.
feel free to express their feelings and be who they are, and feel comforted by a hug. But unfortunately, that is not the case. So uh, sometimes there are tranquilizers that are involved in the hugging process. Basically,
For you or for
you
the crocodile?
basically you have to
Hi-yo!
roofie the crocodile, to get in there and get a good hug. Uh, or, whatnot.
Yeah.
Once they pass out, one thing leads to another. Who
Exactly.
knows?
Exactly.
And forget about it if there's a full moon out.
Yeah. That one was written by Max, by the way, just to let you know. My 11-year-old came up with the crocodile hugging. And the second fact, which is about me, is that I'm a lover of history. I love it, but I'm also a storyteller. So what I do at this point of the podcast is I find a story from the history books, maybe one that people don't know too well, and reword it via my own special, unique storytelling style. And that is what this segment is, another educationally uneducational installment of Steve's Historic Approximations.
Dun, dun, dun,
Or SHAP, as I like to call it, repeatedly, annoyingly, whether anyone else likes it or not. Now, personally, I like the name SHAP. I just think it sounds cute. Now, small programming note: these SHAPs are not 100% exactly what happened in history, primarily because I enjoy putting words in people's mouths. So I would say it's about 93.7% exactly what happened. It's like they say,
Yeah.
50% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah.
Anywho, this week on the old Shappity Shap, we will be discussing a famous TV personality, the TV game show that they pissed off, and the birth of pop psychology. This is going to be fun, but first, semi-unrelated, but also somewhat related. Can we both just pause this Shap so that we can take a moment to shit on Dr. Oz?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Although the chap has me intrigued quite a bit. But yes. Please, let's take a big steaming dump on Dr. Oz.
Fuck Dr. Oz. He's not even and he had people voting for him to be, a representative of Philadelphia. He's not even from Philadelphia. He's not even from America.
No.
It drives me nuts that people were like, "Oh, President Barack Hussein Obama, he's not an American, he's a foreigner." But then those people will happily vote for Cuban-born Ted Cruz
Yes.
and non-American citizen Dr. Mehmet Oz. That blows my mind. The Republican hypocrisy.
Yes.
That'd be a great name for a band, Republican Hypocrisy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this shap is about a woman. And for suspense purposes, I will be censoring the first name, kind of like our last shap regarding the invention of Salisbury steak, which I really loved. So her name for the beginning of this shap is J. Diane Bauer. She was born in Brooklyn in 1927. Hey, I'm birthing here. So I'm really proud of that. I was really happy to do that. Fun fact, this famous TV personality, her father raised her and treated her as a boy, even going so far as to call her by a male name. So famous TV personality, secret trans icon, non-binary hero, the argument could be made. Anywho, she double majored at Cornell with honors, then went on to Columbia University, where she got an MA and later a doctorate in psychology. So now she's going places, 2 degrees, an MA degree, and a doctorate. So it's safe to say that Dr. Bauer, super smart, crazy smart, hella smart. We're clear on that, right?
Yes.
Okay, now let's put a pin on that. Put a pin on Dr. Bauer. And we are moving on to an old school, old-timey game show. Specifically, the $64,000 question.
Okay.
A wildly popular TV game show in America, which aired on CBS from 1955 to 1958 until a scandal forced it and all of the big money game shows off of the air. I'm not going to get too deep into the game show scandal because what happened in this particular shap happened way before the scandal broke. But the gist of the scandal was in the 1950s, the most popular thing on TV were big money quiz shows. There were a ton of them, and surprise, surprise, a bunch of them were rigged. The most famous one being the NBC show 21 and handsome man Charles Van Doren beating fat loser Herbert Stemple, yada, yada, yada. There's a movie about it. I really like it. It's from 1994 and it's called Quiz Show. You should watch it. It was nominated for 4 Oscars and won 0. While 1994's Ed Wood won 2 Oscars, which is 1 Oscar more than Pulp Fiction won on the same year. And I will mention that every freaking chance I get. But anywho, a lot of the popular big money quiz shows were rigged in one way or another, where it's like, okay, we're going to ask you these random questions now. Just kidding. They aren't random. We're picking these because we're trying to F with you. The $64,000 question wasn't an exception to a lot of these game shows being rigged. One of the big issues with the big money game shows of the time was that we're in the 50s here. TV hasn't been around for that long. And back in the day, back then, a television show's sponsor had a lot more say in what was on the show they were sponsoring. It's not just the $64,000 question. It's Revlon presents
Yes.
the $64,000 question, brought to you by Revlon. You know, so in the case of the show 21, the sponsor Geritol was all, look, this Herbert Stempel guy, he's really smart and he keeps winning. And he's like a genius. The only problem is he's ugly and he sweats like a whore in church, and the audiences don't like him. So we need to get him off the show. Either force him out, pay him out, get him to lose on purpose, give the other guy the right answers. We got to get this big, sweaty behemoth off of the show. And that brings us back to the $64,000 question and its sponsor, Revlon, the cosmetics company. Earlier, before the $64,000 question, Revlon's rival was named Hazel Bishop. Apparently, they were a cosmetics company, or still are. I don't know.
Okay.
But Hazel Bishop sponsored the show This Is Your Life, and that made Hazel Bishop a crap ton of money. So the head of Revlon signed off on being a sponsor for the $64,000 question. Now, I'm looking up the history of Revlon, and I was sad to see that the founder of Revlon was a guy named Charles Revson. That pisses me off. You would think it would be Charles Revlon. No, it's Charles Revson.
Yeah.
Then why is the company Revlon and you're Revson? It just kind of pisses me off. So for the rest of the chap, we're going to rename him. Funny. What is the
Yes.
name of the founder of Revlon?
Charles Revlon.
Okay. Charles James
James.
Von Revlon. He's from the old country. Revlon the Third. Okay.
And
So,
he
as
has a
everyone knows-
dueling scar.
Yes, yes. His grandfather was one of Scotland's premier horse masturbators. And that's what started him in making blush and lipstick. So
good
as
friends
everyone,
with Ray Milland.
Ray Milland, of course, the Ray Milland horse erotica that this podcast is so fond of. Now, everyone knows that the founder of the Revlon Cosmetics Company is a man named Charles James von Revlon III. He's from the old country. So Charles James von Revlon III, he has control over the show, the $64,000 question. And he is just like, okay, if we're going to have people on this show, let's get beautiful people. Beautiful people that represent my beautiful cosmetics company, Revlon, named after me, Charles James von Revlon III. So we want beautiful people to be on and win this cosmetic-sponsored game show. And now go ahead and go back a few minutes and unpin the pin from before, because Charles James von Revlon III is about to meet his worst nightmare, a highly educated young woman from Brooklyn who never wears makeup. It's our girl, Dr. Bauer. Of course, it's the 1950s, 1955, I believe. And so our girl, Dr. Bauer, has settled down and married a doctor named Milton, and she took his last name. So by the time she appears on TV screens nationwide, she's not Dr. Bauer. She's Dr. Joyce frickin' Brothers. Boom! Big reveal. I'm a pickle, Morty. I'm a pickle.
Yeah.
Dr. Joyce Brothers. So the $64,000 question in its first year. It's in its first year. And so far, only one contestant has won it all so far. Dr. Joyce Brothers, at this point in her life, is 28 years old. She's a doctor. Her husband wants to be a doctor, is also like a med student sort of a person. But at the moment, he is a medical intern who is only making $50 a month. Plus, Dr. Joyce Brothers had recently given birth to their first child. So Dr. Joyce Brothers and her husband Milton both have a 3-year-old daughter, but he's only pulling in $50 a month in 1955. They are broke AF. Yeah. They're basically living in poverty. They are destitute. I don't know what poor people did in black and white. Sold pencils on the street, I think. Sold papes. That's it. And I don't know what else they did, but super
Pretty sure it's
poor.
just prostitution, the same as always.
Yeah. So they're basically destitute and they're desperate. So she decides to try and become a contestant on the $64,000 question. She sends in a letter that explains who she is, sends in a picture. She gets an interview, and at the $64,000 question, the way they did it was they would get experts, professionals, doctors, experts in various fields, but they would be quizzed on things that they were not experts on.
Uh-huh.
So the producers and the Revlon people would be like, okay, so you are a celebrated musical composer. Great. We're going to give you a list of things and you can choose which one you would like to be quizzed on. Dog breeding, cooking, underwater basket weaving, that sort of thing. So it would be like if I was on the $64,000 question, I would be quizzed on the NFL or the Fast and the Furious movies, or I'd be quizzed on having a small penis. I don't know any of those things. I don't know the first thing about any of those. I would be lost. So what would you be quizzed on, Bunny, if you were on the $64,000 question?
Oh.
What is the opposite of funny?
I would definitely be quizzed on the NFL, cars.
Catholic saints, maybe? There's a shit ton
Yeah,
of those.
not that bad with Catholic Saints.
Okay.
Not great, but not bad.
G.I. Joe characters. Funny,
And the rock band Kiss. That's it.
Fucking Kiss. The thing that I love about Kiss, the only thing I love about Kiss is that they said all 4 members of the band are going to make their own album and you can buy them all at the same time. Like anyone is going to buy a Kiss album that is not like Paul Stanley or Hyman Wiss, whatever is it. Why do I know his real name but not his actual Gene Simmons?
Yes.
But if you get all 4 of those solo albums that they released at once, the only song that anyone even remotely knows is Back in a New York Groove, which I believe was done by the bassist or the drummer of Kiss from his solo album, Peter Criss.
Oh, man.
And it's a cover. And it's the only, out of the 4 albums, that's the only album that I believe had a song that charted. I find that I love that song. There's a deleted scene from Infinity War where Thanos kidnaps Gamora, and so Peter Quill is unsure what to do. So he's just in his ship listening to New York Groove over and over again.
Really?
Because apparently that's like his thinking song. So he's just listening to New York Groove over and over again. I'm back back in the New York groove. And so finally, Drax gets pissed off and takes the cassette off, and they start chasing each other around the ship. Put that song back. I am sick of listening to these people. So I love New York groove. So Dr. Joyce is given a number of manly topics for her to pick from. Basically, the founder of Revlon, whose name, of course, is Charles James von Revlon III, he was like, "Hey, all right, let's give this dainty, fragile little snowflake of a housewife some real manly topics to choose from. This lady never wears makeup, so this way we'll give her a bunch of manly topics she knows nothing about. That way we can make sure she loses, because I don't want this non-makeup wearing hag to be on my cosmetic show. Okay, Toots, here are the topics you can choose from. Football, baseball, scratching your balls, listening to Joe Rogan, never washing a pair of jeans, and, I don't know, friggin' boxing." And so Dr. Joyce Brothers chooses boxing. Okay. Her topic is boxing, and this is how the $64,000 question would do it. Okay. So your topic is boxing. Good luck. We'll be taping in about a month.
Okay.
So Dr. Joyce goes freaking beast mode. She's got a photographic memory. So she tracks down a 20-volume boxing encyclopedia and reads that bitch cover to cover. She studies boxing with boxing journalists and a former Olympic gold medal winner in boxing. She gets years and years of old issues of Ring magazine and reads those cover to cover. Beast mode. Plus, her intern husband loves boxing. So by the time the cameras roll, our girl basically is the Michael Jordan of Evil Knievel's, of Mike Tyson's, of Stephen Hawking, of freaking boxing. Now, to be fair, she has a massive knowledge of the sport of boxing. Sadly, we never got to see her box.
No.
Anybody? So, but I think it's safe to say that with her insane boxing knowledge,
Well, I think she can knock Dr. Ruth on her ass.
oh yeah, I think
that's the fight I would like to see.
Yeah, I do think that, like, she has a photographic memory. She did so much studying. She basically is the female Mike Tyson, but
Yes.
she just decided never to get into the ring and bring the hurt. Like, even though we never saw her fight, you know that she would have kicked ass because she's got skills. In much the same way, I've also never seen Martha Stewart sneak drugs into a prison by shoving a bag full of drugs up her asshole, but we know she can do it.
Yes.
She's done the time.
Yes, she has.
She knows how to pass a kite from one cell to another to get the good shit. I'm just saying. So she goes on the show. And then back then, this is weird. I learned this, and this blew me away. Unlike game shows now, it wasn't just one show, one episode. Here's one person. We are going to be asking all of these questions in one thing. No, it would take weeks of episodes for someone to win. It would take approximately 5 episodes for someone to win it all on this show. They ask you questions like, oh, here's the $5 question. Here's the $12 question, yada, yada, yada. By the time they get to the 4,000s, I don't know. I need to track down some episodes of the original $64,000 question because I have a hard time believing this. But according to Wikipedia, when they got to the 4,000 range, they would just ask a question an episode.
Really?
How the heck do you do that? I don't get it. But anyway, that's how they would do it. So we would take 5 episodes for someone to win it all on the show. And remember, by the time Dr. Joyce Brothers gets on the screen, only one person has ever won the $64,000 question. So Imagine the anger of Revlon's founder, who, once again, his name was Charles James von Revlon III. He's from the old country. Because he's having to see 5 whole weeks of a woman not wearing makeup on Revlon's hit game show.
Yes.
It's driving Charles James von Revlon III from the old country, the founder of Revlon Cosmetics, driving him up the frickin' walls. So he gets pissed and he goes, all right, sick of seeing this makeupless lady on my show. We got to rig this shit. We cannot have a woman with no makeup win my game show.
Yes.
So this is what Charles James von Revlon III, the founder of Revlon from the old country, this is what he did. He changed the questions from boxing questions to very difficult, detailed questions about refereeing boxing matches.
Okay.
Trying to catch Dr. Joyce Brothers for a loop, because that's how pissed the founder of Revlon is about Dr. Joyce being successful. But did that stop our girl, Dr. Joyce? Heck no. She nailed it, of course, every question, and would go on to become the second person ever to win it all in the $64,000 question. And here is a crazy postscript to this story that I did not know. Okay, so Dr. Joyce Brothers is considered the most famous person to ever win in the $64,000 question because she parlayed that into a long time TV personality career. I mean, in the 80s, she was everywhere. Her and Dr. Ruth were just everywhere in the 80s, and she was just a well-known name. But so I am blown away with this. Dr. Joyce Brothers, boxing winner in the $64,000 question. 1 year later, she would get a TV show, but not what you might think. In 1956, she became the co-host of a sports program called the Sports Showcase, meaning Dr. Joyce Brothers was one of the first female sports commentators ever.
Wow.
I had no freaking clue at all. That blew me away. You mean to tell me Dr. Joyce Brothers was a famous sports announcer? That blows my mind. But yeah, I guess it makes sense because she won in the boxing category. So she would like be chosen to like, hey, come over here and announce this Sugar Ray Leonard fight. And she would go and do that. And then after
And how exactly would she feel about that? Like, I guess it's good to have a job and probably a good paying job. But it's not like she really likes boxing.
yeah. No, her husband likes boxing. But like I'm not going to become a master of supernatural because of my wife. But okay. But yeah, isn't that crazy? And then after she did the sports show, then she got an advice column, and then she got a TV show and started going on shows like Hollywood Squares and Johnny Carson's Tonight Show and whatnot. And Dr. Joyce Brothers became a widely successful TV personality. She is, at this moment, credited with being one of the first people on television to explain complicated psychological terms to the general American public. That thanks to Joyce Brothers and her columns and being on TV and being on the Today Show and Hollywood Squares and this and that, she was one of the first people to be out there with normal people saying, hey, your psyche, your inner turmoil, inner child, all of these sort of things. A lot of the psychiatric terms that we all know now, she kind of helped popularize those in the public consciousness. And yeah, she went on to become a wildly successful TV personality, but it all started with a broke mom on a fairly crooked TV game show. Dr. Joyce Brothers was a rags to riches freaking badass.
Yes.
I am shocked by this awesome story. When you think of Dr. Joyce Brothers, you don't think of like, man, she was like waiting in line in soup kitchens and stuff, struggling to keep her family fed, and desperately went on a game show in a way to make a little bit of money, and turned into America's top psychologist. Freaking good for you. You go, girl. Hashtag girl boss. Dang. And I know that this is something that I normally say at the end of every shap, but I am shocked that people don't know this story, that people don't know more about how much of an awesome badass Dr. Joyce Brothers was. She's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hats
like
off to Dr. Joyce Brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Ruth was everywhere, but like she was a lover, not a fighter.
Yes.
Dr. Joyce Brothers, she would fuck up a bitch.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah. So that is it for Steve's Historic Approximations this week. Be sure and join us next week for more educationally uneducational fun with Steve's Historic Approximations. And cut on that. Well, Bunny, we've got a little bit of running out the meter. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How was your Thanksgiving, Bunny?
It was nice. It was nice. Watched the parade again. You know.
There was some sort of a storm that caused us to stop having TV signals.
Yeah.
A couple of months ago, and I never bothered to fix it. So, like the day before Thanksgiving, I just got like some tape and some pliers and a knife, and it's like I am going to be outside on the roof, going through the walls. I'm going to make it so that we have TV so that I can watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And it took like an hour of work and like doing wires and wire work and all of this. But we got the TV and we watched the big parade.
Nice.
As a family. It's one of the few family traditions that my family has from my parents.
Yes.
So big fan of it. Very emotional Thanksgiving for me. I've been through a lot this year. Don't want to get into the specifics.
No.
But I've been through a lot. And I've just been really emotional this holiday season. I'm not looking forward to Christmas or the days after Christmas. I don't know what I'm going to do on New Year's.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be exciting. I am happy at the fact that I can just do as much weed as I want. That's nice, legally. Hi, honey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Where's Amber? We need her.
Why do you need Amber?
The owner of the horse is there, and I wanted him to go talk to him.
Oh, yeah.
Call the police.
Okay. My hair looks amazing right now. I want to say I appreciate you, Bunny.
Thank you.
I am thankful for you. And I am very high. We are going to sadly have to talk about this week's movie. You could stand it? You would watch it again? It's just two dudes and freaking radio static. That's all it is.
Save it. We're almost there. Save it.
Okay. And to think, I thought it might be a good idea to do a Mark Polonia summer. Fuck you, Mark Polonia. Because the guy who made this is the same guy who did Virus Shark. We'll be talking about that.
Yes.
But yes. So let's. Oh, I have a vasectomy scheduled for January.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a vasectomy, and I am excited about that because I feel that a lot of times in society, a lot of men think that it is the woman's job to sort of be in charge of the child. What's the word I'm looking for? Emerald. Child. Be held accountable and child birth stopping. There's a word that I'm no, not aborting. Anyway, it vasectomies are reversible, and I've got strong boys. And let me tell you something. It was really fun to be in a doctor's office where they do vasectomies and to have the nurse come out and to call my last name, and I stand up as a beautiful woman. The look on the nurse's face was freaking wonderful. And she leads me into the waiting room, and I'm sitting down and I'm still finishing my paperwork. And she goes, "So, according to our paperwork, this is for a vasectomy consultation. Is that correct? Or..." And I let the "or" play out for a while.
Yeah.
Just because I could tell that she was nervous, and I was like, yeah, I'm getting a vasectomy. I'm a trans woman. And she goes, okay, good, okay. And so that was a bunch of fun. I'm excited about that. I don't think.
I do appreciate her checking.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting the doctor I was just getting a vasectomy consultation. I wasn't expecting the doctor to survey the landscape.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that, but it was a bit odd to have to take off my yoga pants and lift up my dress so the doctor could check the area. I was not used to that. I have only been a woman for about a year and a half. It's a work in progress, people. Learning curve.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm excited about January. It's going to be a bunch of fun. The doctor said, "Oh, you're going to have to be really lazy and stay on the couch for a week or two." And I'm like, "Oh, shoot. I can still do weed? Oh, that's horrible. Oh, man." So
when I got mine, my doctor had prescribed me one Valium.
And
I was like, what's this for?
Yeah.
It's like, well, to calm you down before the procedure. Like,
I don't
know who you're fucking with, okay?
Yeah.
You know, maybe 6, and I'll be calm.
An ass put on a lion skin and went bouncing around the forest merrily, scaring the foolish beasts by brooks and by rocks, till at last he tried to That raucous voice, so petulant, so vain. Oh, ass, Bob too would run away. But that Bob knows your old familiar bray. That's just the way with asses. That's just the way.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Reverend Steve. I am nervous because I'm going to drink a 41-year-old beverage that might kill me. There was a TV show called Dallas. Dallas was a soap opera that originally premiered in April of 1978 as a miniseries, but the miniseries was so popular that in September of 1978, they decided to turn it into a short one-season TV show. It became so popular that it ran from 1978 to 1991. One character, Bobby Ewing, was killed off, but he was so popular that they decided to make his death a dream. Really stupid. And then, of course, the main character was sort of the patriarch of the family. His name was J.R. Ewing. In the 1980s, they made a beer. Premium beer. J.R. Ewing's Private Stock came out in the year 1980. And it says on the bottom here, if you have to ask how much my beer costs, you probably can't afford it. I purchased very cheaply a 6-pack of this. One had a hole in it and it was empty, but the other 5 were still open and sealed. And so I put this in the fridge for a while and I'm going to drink it. Surprisingly, I posted about this on Twitter and I'm like, hey, I've got this 41-year-old beer. Who wants to see me try it? And the answer was a big, resounding, no, are you serious? You could die. Which I wasn't expecting from Twitter, but I basically got shamed. And so I'm going to open this. This is weird. Do you see this? How do I... Ooh, look at that. That's the weirdest... Huh?
Like the old V8?
Yeah, it's like V8. Okay. So, all right. No, I didn't shake it. I'm going to drink a 41-year-old beer now, so pinky's up for the classy stuff. So, okay. First off, it tastes dusty.
There might be a little dust on the bottom.
But when you get past that, okay, so you know when you're like young, when you're like in your 20s, and you're like, I'm going to go get beer.
You're talking to the wrong person.
The cheapest beer imaginable. Okay, so there's like cheap beer that will burn your mouth because it's horrible. And then there's cheap beer where it's like Mickey's. That's what this is. This isn't bad, but it's also not good. It tastes all right. Tastes all right. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. It tastes cheap. It doesn't taste as premium as J.R. Ewing from the hit show Dallas, but no, this is all right. This is pretty good. I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, this isn't that bad. It's cheap and dusty, but I've drank cheap and dusty beer before. You know, go into some sketchy convenience store and they have a 98-cent pint
of some beer you've never heard of before, and you buy that, that's what this tastes like. It's not that bad. Not that bad. It's all right. This is a weird video, but hey, thanks for watching. And if you're watching this during the podcast, hey, break time. Buddy and I are peeing.
I had some crazy nicknames back in the 70s, but all those friends died in the 80s.
I wonder who else I can call. Hello? Hey. Something cute. What's your name? Nancy? Oh, hi, Nancy.
Stand by your window so I can see you. You stand a million miles away.
Oh, I'm sorry, hon. I'm not allowed to have windows. Court order. So, you sound kind of foxy. If it's not too personal, when was the last time you had sex?
Coming up on the 7th day. It's okay, I checked Guinness. The record's 11. Listen, I know who he is.
You know who what is?
The killer.
What killer? What the hell are you babbling about?
And if he gets me, I'm pretty sure you're next.
Whoa. Whoa, what kind of shit are you getting me into, Pumpkin?
Just give me some help nailing the guy when I bring him out.
What are you babbling about?
My dream.
What?
If I can't, then you can all relax because it's just a case of me being nuts.
Yeah, and for some reason this is really turning me on.
Good. Then you won't mind cold cocking this guy when I bring him out.
What?
You heard me. I grab the guy in my dream. You see me struggling, so you wake me up. We both come out, you whack the fucker, and we got him.
Pumpkin, please explain to me what you mean by whacked.
You're the jock. You have a baseball bat or something. Just meet me at my porch at midnight. Oh, and meanwhile, whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Okay, Pumpkin, you're freaking me out, but for some reason I'm also finding you very attractive. So, how about you and me be girlfriend and boyfriend, huh? The 5th time that's happened this week. Go back to the movie.
Spider, baby.
Come on, be my spider, baby. Yeah.
Don't be afraid, girl.
Come on, be my baby spider.
Yeah.
I feel ready on no sugar. Spin your bright word from me. And be my baby spider, baby.
I'm a spider, and my name is Bitey. I'm a Leo, and I love dewy spider webs in the sunset, long walks on the pavement, and hiding in shoes. And I'm looking for a special female. And girl, not everyone sees you the way I do, so let me look deep inside all 8 of your beautiful eyes. And I don't see human like other people do. I see a glorious spider, baby. Yeah, so I want to let you know I'd play spider with you all night long. Shimmy here, up next to me, and do that stanky spider dance you do. So shake that cephalothorax and your abdomen too. Ah, girl.
Come on, be my spider, baby. Yeah.
Be my spider, baby.
Come on, be my baby spider.
Yeah. One more time.
Feel ready on no sugar. Spin your bright word from me. And be my baby spider, baby.
And I know how it is when a male spider tries to show you what he's made of. And I gotta let you know, I don't mind dying for just one night of sweet spider love. if that's what it takes to get near you, girl. A hungry female may consume any invertebrate that comes along, including her suitors. But baby, I don't mind, because you're truly worthy. You're worth it, baby. My pedipals are palpitating, circulating. I could be perspirating, but I can't, because I got an ectoskeleton. But that don't matter, nah. So let me be your daddy, baby. Hopelessly tangled up in your silky web. Let me kiss your fangs before you chomp off my head. Yeah.
Come on, be my spider, baby. Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Come on, be my baby.
You know it's true, girl.
Yeah. I'll be your daddy, long leg sugar. Spin your bright word from me.
I'll be your daddy long leg.
Be my baby, spider, baby.
Spider long leg, sugar. In many spider species, females eat the males after sweet, sweet love. But I don't mind. Nah. You see, I got 8 boots on my legs for knocking. I notice you do too. Spider baby rocking all night long. You see, even spider love is blind. Come on. Ooh.
Come on, be my spider, baby.
16 boots of spider knocking.
Come on, be my baby. Spider
Girl.
yeah. I'll be your daddy, long leg sugar. Spin your bright word from me.
Cephalothoracks. Cephalothoracks. You know it's true, girl. Come on.
Come on, be my spider, baby. Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Come on, be my baby.
Yeah, be my spider, baby. Yeah.
Come on, be my spider, baby.
Yeah. Be your daddy, spider long leg.
Come on, be my baby, spider.
When mold and musty odors invade your space, get Concrobium Mold Control. As it dries, only Concrobium crushes mold and mildew at its roots, leaving an invisible antimicrobial shield so it won't grow back. It's odorless, too. For the safe way to defend your home from mold and mildew, Concrobium. And don't forget to protect against musty odors and moisture damage with Concrobium Moisture Grabbers.
You don't have to imagine that we're back, because we are.
There's an urban legend attached to the house and the elf, the doll, and that is anyone who touches it becomes possessed by its spirit and will befall a deadly fate.
And we're back with more of the Pope on Film.
It's time, Bunny!
It is time.
Yes, Bunny, my friend. It is time once again for all of us here at the Pope on Film podcast to Charleston and Madison our way into the second half of our big shoe. And it is said second half wherein we finally and eventually get around to discussing our all new low fat, zero carbs, non GMO, all natural, and made with Bunny Williams' own secret recipe of 11 herbs and spices. Movie of the week. I lost my place for a second there. And this week we're beginning the Christmas season with a look at the 2021 horror film Hell on the Shelf. Deck the halls with death. I'm looking at this poster that you've got here. There's hardly a single freaking child in this movie.
No.
It's just three dudes, one of whom is the director.
Yes.
So, Bunny, on a scale from 9 to 10, how much did you love this cinematic masterpiece? How many times did you cry?
9.2.
Yeah, it moved me too. Now, before we discuss the ins and out of this celluloid treasure, this masterpiece amongst films, we need to go a few episodes back, 5 episodes to be precise, back to episode 438, the last episode of our summer of COVID exploitation. We watched the movie Virus Shark, directed by Mark Polonia, the new king of crap. How many movies, Bunny, do you think he directed in 2021?
Oh, we kind of went through that the last time. A lot.
He directed 8 movies in 2021 alone. This guy cranks out crappy low-budget movies, gets them on Amazon Prime and Tubi and the cheap DVD bin at Walmart, and makes a nice paycheck. So good for Mark Polonia. He's found a way to get a paycheck. He's a modern-day Roger Corman, but, without the talent. I'd like to read some of the films, the countless films that Mark Polonia has directed, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Amityville Death House. Amityville Island. Amityville Exorcism. Amityville in Space. That's my favorite. I'm surprised he hasn't done The Amityville Goes West yet. But there's also Virus Shark, Doll Shark, Jurassic Shark, Sharkula, Sharkenstein, Jurassic Shark 2, Aquapocalypse, Land Shark, and my favorite, Shark Encounters of the Third Kind. And then, of course, his magnum opus, Revolt of the Empire of the Apes. And here we are on our second Mark Polonia film, Hell on the Shelf. I had an idea originally that Mark Polonia cranks out so many no-budget movies that we could just spend an entire summer just doing like Mark Polonia movies or like low-budget shark movies. Like Santa Jaws, was that the one we saw last year?
Santa Jaws, yes.
Santa Jaws. Or Amityville movies. There's a crap ton of those. Or just Mark Polonia movies for an entire summer. But after watching this week's movie, Hell on the Shelf, fuck no, we're not doing a Mark Polonia summer. I absolutely refuse. I hate this movie. First off, it's not the right elf. All of the posters have the famous elf from Elf on a Shelf.
Yes.
But then you see the movie and it's just this hideous Goodwill abortion. Bunny, what are your thoughts on this movie? What are your thoughts on Hell
I
on the
thought
Shelf?
it was a good looking elf. If anything, I think the elf looked too cute.
Okay.
And they needed to creep it up a little more.
Yeah.
Because it was a bit too cute. Overall, what I thought about it, it's kind of like Creation of the Humanoids in that I want this to be a better movie than it is. You know what I mean? And it's like picking up points in my head for how it should have been as opposed to how it is.
Yeah, I think that's Mark Polonia's MO, that the title comes first.
Yes.
The most important thing in a Mark Polonia film is a title, and it doesn't actually matter what the movie is. Like, I like the concept of Hell on the Shelf. Okay, so an elf on the shelf is possessed and, is killing people. Okay, I'm down with that. The movie sucks ass, but it's an interesting premise, and I imagine that would be the same thing that you would say if you watched Shark Encounters of the Third Kind or Amityville in Space. Amityville in Space. So, yeah. So it's his movies are good in theory, in premise,
yes.
but they miss the landing.
I liked the 70s-ish documentary feel that they kind of opened with.
Yeah,
and
the
were
opening
not
text,
able to maintain.
Yeah, the opening text says that this is, quote, a true story documented over 3 days by a parapsychology crew. And I did believe that opening because this definitely looks like it took 3 days to film.
Yes.
If it took more than 3 days to film Hell on a Shelf, I will eat my hat. So
So
was
it was
also
very reminiscent to me of a lot of the cheap ass documentaries I would watch as a kid on like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster, or like it was in something like this that I first saw the Warrens.
Yeah, the freaking it upsets me that Blumhouse has turned their story more legitimate. You know? Like the Conjuring 3, Annabelle 2, based on a true story. Based on true bullshit that two con artists said happened.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider that based on a true story, but whatever. I was sad to see that actor Duke Van Sant wasn't in this movie.
Yes, that was a disappointment.
What's the point in watching a Mark Polonia film if Duke Larson isn't in it?
And the general premise was good. Okay? It's a haunted house. There are these two brothers playing in the basement. They find this elf. They get into a fight. One of the kids falls down the stairs, breaks his neck, and dies. Okay, that's a good setup for a haunted house story or an investigation or, anything like that.
Yeah.
But that's it. Past there, everything else fails. The script fails. The acting fails. Like, Jesus Christ, dude, this is a horror movie. Why are you shooting this in full fucking daylight?
70% of the movie is just two guys talking to static.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? And it's like, okay, stretch that out for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I would like to take some time with you, Bunny, during this podcast, during this discussion of Hell in a Shelf, to discuss how much damage the 2007 film Paranormal Activity has done to Hollywood horror movies.
I have not seen a single one of those fucking things.
Okay, but it was the first film to be like, okay, it's a found footage horror movie. Okay, those exist. But the found footage specifically comes from like home security camera footage. It cost only $215,000 to make, and it made about $200 million. It
Yeah.
was so successful that it spawned 7 films in total, a video game, and a bajillion freaking copycats of movie makers that say, okay, I can also make a film using home security footage and stretch that into an hour and a half. And it, like, I swear the first 25 minutes is the director of the film explaining the tools that a parapsychologist would use with all the excitement of Ben Stein on NyQuil.
Yes.
So that was exciting. The director, Mark Polonius, plays Max Simonet in this. And wow, move over M. Night Shyamalan. Here's another director who thinks he can act.
Yeah.
This movie, I swear this movie felt like 3 Endgames long. That's how long this movie felt. But it's a tight hour 15. But you wouldn't know it. Because it's such a long movie where so little happens.
I still think it has a certain kind of charm in its horrible way. And again, I think it's because there's a better movie here that didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know? Like they strap a camera to the elf and they show the elf running around. Like, that could have been good.
Yeah.
That could have been really good. That could have been a really scary fucking scene. You know? And yeah, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, no, it was not.
But somehow with me, it's picking up additional points for it could have been good.
Okay, that makes sense. It's an interesting premise, just done in a very bad way. And then the equipment they used to talk to the ghosts sounds exactly like someone is burning bacon on a stove. And it drove me nuts.
Yeah.
The burning of bacon is about 60% of this movie, and it just drove me crazy. This alleged film, with finger quotes, is basically just 2 dudes talking over static. And the other bits, a lot of them are just silent security footage. And Hell on the Shelf. It's about a murderous elf on the shelf that kills people. I thought it would be a so bad it's good, but it's barely a movie.
And I also kind of liked, but see, then they kind of lost it. But like when the elf was just kind of moving around the house, and they would get freaked out and talk about it, I found that kind of fun because I found these felt like kids who have grown up and now they're getting down to the bottom of it. You know what I mean? Like,
I will give them points because there is a sort of charm to the idea of like, this is coronavirus conspiracy, but without the talent.
Yes.
I can still give this movie points because it does very much feel like this is just 3 dudes on a weekend.
Yes.
Saying, hey, let's throw a movie together. It just isn't fun.
It could have been tons and tons better.
Yes, it absolutely could have been. I found it to be nigh unwatchable. I found Virus Shark and Sharkula to be a bunch of dumb fun, but I felt bad watching this because I'm like, oh my god, did Jeannie watch this?
Yes.
Fuck, I'm sorry, Jeannie. This is an hour and 15 of just moss growing. It was Sandy Wexler all over again.
It was Sandy Wexler all over. Yes.
I felt really bad because I thought this movie would be stupid funny. There's another movie that we'll be doing later that I'm really excited to do. We're not doing it next week, but I want to bring it up. I'm really excited. It's a very recent movie. It's called The Killing Tree, and it's about a serial killer who dies, but then his spirit gets resurrected in a Christmas tree that continues the murder spree.
Okay.
Basically, it's an
original
rubber.
Saturday Night Live sketch.
Yeah, basically. So I'm really excited for The Killing Tree, but for all I know, it could be just as. This movie has made me worried because I've got a lot of movies on deck that are like, oh, I've got to download this. Look at the title. And then it's like, oh, okay. This might not be good. But yeah, it's a great idea in theory, but in practice, I hated this movie. I am so freaking high right now. So I was trying to think of how to save this. How do I save our discussion of Hell on the Shelf? And then I came up with a great idea because I did not like this movie.
Okay.
So I'm tying it to the next movie we're doing. The next movie we will be doing is Jim Carrey's live action How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And it's my theory that both of these films are equally bad for different reasons. Hell on the Shelf, it's no budget. It's just some dudes in one of their houses talking to static. And it's a great premise, but nothing happens and it's boring and it's badly done. Jim Carrey's live action How the Grinch Stole Christmas, they have hundreds of millions of dollars, massive sets. They have music, special effects, actual actors. Something tells me it's going to be just as annoying and horrible as Hell on the Shelf. I've actually never sat down and watched Jim Carrey's live action How the Grinch Stole Christmas all the way through.
Neither have I.
This is going to be great for us then, because we will both be taking some fresh looks at this thing. And something tells me that Jim Carrey yelling directly in the camera for 2 hours is going to be just as annoying as watching Mark Polonia talk to static.
Yes.
I have a real problem with everything Dr. Seuss. Because Dr. Seuss was married to a woman, and then he wrote kids' books. And then TV said, hey, Dr. Seuss, we love your kids' books. This is a mini shaft. Hey, Dr. Seuss, we love your kids' books. How about we turn How the Grinch Stole Christmas into an animated TV cartoon? And Dr. Seuss said, I would love it. I've always had dreams of going to Hollywood. Did you see my movie, The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T? Of course you didn't. No one did. But it's pretty freaking trippy. Yes, let's do this animated cartoon. And the animated cartoon was a huge success. So the TV network came back to Dr. Seuss and said, hey, we want to do a whole series of cartoons based on your works. And Dr. Seuss said, yes, these will all be successful and they will all play on TV forever. Have the rights to all of my books. And they cranked out a bunch of Dr. Seuss cartoons and all of them suck ass. There's a Cat in the Hat one with like Bobby Sherman. There's a voice of the Cat in the Hat, and he's all shticky. And then there's like a mashup. The Grinch Grinches the Cat in the Hat. And there's one of the Sneetches and Green Eggs and Ham, and they're all just really cheap and horrible. And Dr. Seuss hated it. So Dr. Seuss said, okay, wife of mine, first wife of mine, I am never again giving the rights to any of my creations to anyone. And his first wife said, okay, I 100% support you. And then his first wife, he broke up with that. So then his second wife is like, I support you, my husband, Dr. Seuss. And Hollywood's like, hey, it's the 90s now. We want to buy the rights to this and this and this. We want to make a big TV show for this and a movie for this and this and that. And Dr. Seuss says, no, get away from me, Hollywood, with your millions of dollars. I will never be selling the rights to this. But the second wife is like, come on, Dr. Seuss, we need the money. And Dr. Seuss said, no, as long as I am living, second wife, I will never be selling the rights. And Dr. Seuss's second wife said, okay, fine. While you're alive, huh? Interesting. Bobby, get the documents ready. My husband has a cold. Get the papers ready. Oh, what? My husband just died? That's a big shame. Everybody come over here. I'm selling the lot of them. And that's why immediately live action Cat in the Hat, live action How the Grinch Stole Christmas, animated Lorax. There are kids now for whom the Cat in the Hat is primarily an animated PBS character who teaches kids about science. Suddenly, Dr. Seuss is everywhere because the second wife was like, oh, I don't give a shit. I need the money. I'm selling every character everywhere to everyone. So, they did the same thing they did the same thing in Knives Out. They were just waiting for him to die.
Yes, true.
What was his name? I forgot the writer's name. I saw Knives Out 2.
You did?
This past week. Yes. Glass Onion. When I went into the movie, it's playing in a limited number of theaters just for a week, and I think that's a big shame. I think that that Netflix should keep it in theaters. They should expand it. It's a wonderful film, and you should watch it in theaters. I shudder to think of watching this on like my crappy ass laptop. It's a great movie. It is fun. It's great to see it with an audience. There's a lot of twists and turns. I liked it more than I liked the first one. And when I first went into the movie, I had one specific thing in my head. If the movie Glass Onion does not play the Beatles song, I'm going to set this movie theater on fire.
Okay, so not having heard anything on the news, I take it they had that song.
The movie is so fun and so good, and there are so many twists and turns, and the character work is great. It's such a fun film that I completely forgot about what I was thinking of in the beginning. So finally, when the lights dim, when the screen dims, and the first credit pops up, and you hear, I told you about strawberry fields. I had totally forgotten what I said in the beginning, and I marked out like I was at WrestleMania. And they just played Stone Cold Steve Austin's music. I freaked out. Oh, they are playing it. Yes, all of you in the theater, you're safe. Such a good movie. So much fun. And I absolutely loved it. And it is a damn shame that this movie is only out for 1 week in a small amount of theaters. If I had the gas money, I would drive over there again to see it. I drove over an hour to the theater that I go to only for the special things. I went there did I go there for the director's cut of Midsommar? Yes. Did I go there for The Lighthouse? Yes. Did I also go there for X-Men Dark Phoenix? Yes, but it was IMAX tickets for free and I got a keychain. So who is up in that transaction? This gal. So great movie. Can't recommend it enough. I can't wait for it to come out on Netflix only so that I can, me and Gizmo and Max can watch it. It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
And I like it better than the first one, which says a lot because I saw that movie in theaters like 6 times. So that's all I've got for. I forgot what we were doing for a second. Hell on the Shelf. I will say though, I'm kind of upset that I'm watching this movie. I kind of wish that I still worked in the children's department of the bookstore.
Yeah.
Because it would have been nice to know that this movie exists when I'm selling Elf on the Shelves. It would have been nice to, here you go, young child. Here's an Elf on the Shelf, and then lean over to the parents. There's a movie on Shudder. It's called Hell on the Shelf. Just search Mark Polonia. That would have been nice.
This is on Shudder.
I'm just assuming.
Okay.
It's a no budget horror movie, so I'm just assuming it's on Shudder. I'm just saying Shudder doesn't get The Shining. Shudder gets Hell on the Shelf. Shudder doesn't get Dr. Sleep. Shudder gets Terrifier 2.
Yes.
No offense to Psycho Gorman, but there's a certain budget of horror movies that I consider Shudder movies.
Uh-huh. I see.
Mark Polonia is a one-man asylum. He is a one-man Full Moon Pictures. He is a one-man mockumentary. Mockbuster studio. But
Yes.
he's one dude. And I got to give him a tip of the hat, but also don't watch Hell on a Shelf. It sucks.
Get better.
Yeah. Get better. At least make it campy. If this was campy, then it probably would have been a lot more fun, but it's just boring. And I guess they're trying to be scary and trying to be serious and taking a serious look at paranormal investigating, but it's an Elf on the Shelf that kills people.
Uh-huh.
The movie doesn't have to be this serious.
And it would be nice if people died in it.
Yeah. And then there's a twist. And there's a twist about who one of the characters actually is. And it's so shocking when it happens that people go, it's so shocking that what? You didn't tell me? I am shocked. Why didn't you tell me? It's like, wow, way to act.
Yeah.
Whoa, calm down, Dolores Fuller. Going for the Oscar over here.
So,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, so you take the fucking elf and you lock it in like a glass box so it can't get out.
Annabelle.
Yeah. And you sell tickets for people to come see it. And you let the guy, Max, die of old fucking age.
Yeah. Yeah. Annabelle.
But that's when your cash cow dies. So
Yeah.
it is to your advantage to keep Max alive. You would get Max on keto immediately. Like, okay, Max, it's time to go out for your jog. You're going to want to keep Max as healthy for as long as possible so you can keep selling tickets to the little demonic doll you got in the glass box.
Yeah, the demonic doll show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
They just do not know how to make lemonade out of lemons.
They do not.
No.
Well, when life gives you lemons. Well, that's it for this week's movie, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And no, Hell on the Shelf. Next week, we're doing Jim Carrey's live action, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Amber freaking loves that movie.
Really?
So Amber, yeah, she loves both of the live action Dr. Seuss movies. If anything, I think that they should make a third live action Dr. Seuss movie with an annoying comedian starring in it.
Yeah.
Like Green Eggs and Ham starring Dane Cook. Boom. Make it happen.
There you go.
The Sneetches starring Pauly Shore. I can't think of anybody else. But it upsets my OCD that they only made 2 live action Dr. Seuss movies. Make a third. You know, just for the symmetry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next week, it'll be the first time that either Bunny and I, our first watch of Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Very excited about this. I have seen the animated Grinch movie with Doctor Strange in it.
Really?
Dinglebert slapped you back. I saw that one. It's just called The Grinch, and that one was okay. But the thing that upsets me though is that the Grinch has a good reason to hate Christmas. At least in the animated one. In the animated one where Benedict Dinglepatch is the voice of the Grinch. Like, oh, he was born like an orphan and people would make fun of him and he spent every Christmas alone. And it's like, okay, he has every reason to hate Christmas. Maybe get off his ass. You know? Yeah. So I'm interested to see.
But that's what it is. If you're not following their religion, then you're the demon who has to live in the cave up in the mountains in the snow. All alone.
Yeah, it's basically like all the Who's are Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
The Grinch is the only normal person. Yeah. So that's going to be next week, next episode. Going to be a lot of fun. But now that I'm looking back at this episode, the highs and the lows, Mark Polonia, Joyce Brothers, American Badass, Crocodile Hugging, Build-A-Bear. I gotta say, I think this has been a pretty good episode of the podcast.
This has been a damn good episode.
Okay, good. I felt the same way, but I feel like you're the person who makes that distinction, Bunny, not me, and I didn't want to step on your toes or anything like that. The last thing I want to do is be toe stepping.
Yes.
I don't want to step on Bunny's toes. But yes, I concur with this assessment, with your assessment, good sir.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Max is in the shower.
Okay. Well, Max is gone. But yes, I concur with your assessment, good sir.
So until next week, I am Bunny Williams.
And I am Reverend May Lynn, and on behalf of Natasha and Mal and Max and Eleanor and everybody else, I just want to say thanks for listening, and we will see you next week, you godless heathens.
And you dishwaffles and poopy tits, and whatever Maxwell would say. Cookie.
Okay, very, very specific. Do 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 do. Your phone's gonna fall. Do 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 do. You pop a do wow. Cut and print.
And put on cookie.
That's a wrap.